Hello there and welcome to another quick battle, this time Norsca versus the Tomb Kings. Norsca are one of my favourite factions to play. I do love a good berserker and a good werewolf in any kind of game, so this is a good faction for me. They got berserkers and werewolves. Perfect. So my army coming out the gate, nice and wide, typical formation, nothing abnormal here, no triple hellblasters or anything. My front line is 3 units of Chaos Marauders. Just a cheap front line, chaffy, not going to do a great deal. They're probably going to get scared away by fear, but they're there to just kind of get in the way and hold stuff down as much as possible. For some proper anti-infantry, I've got the Brutes of the Hound, because these are unbreakable. They won't be affected by the fear and terror that the Tomb Kings can have. And to deal with any constructs, I've got 2 units of Marauder Hunters, but because of all the armor of the Tomb King's constructs, we're going to have to try and help them a little bit. So my caster is the Death Caster with Spirit Leech and Soul Blight. Soul Blight reduces armor by 30, so I want him to team up with the Javelins. If there's any constructs that come our way, these Javelins can start firing at them. He can reduce their armor and we'll do that little bit more damage. On the other side, we got the same thing again, but I got some Fimir. They have armor sundering, so same thing, reducing their armor, allowing these Javelins to do a little bit more damage, and the Fimir will do a lot of damage themselves anyway. My Lord is Throg. I thought he was a good choice here. He's anti-large and he doesn't have too much to worry about in terms of dangerous Tomb Kings lords coming after him. But in case they do, I've got the Moors of Savagery, the Regiment of Renowned Skinwolves. They're there to protect Throg if he should need it. So that's the main bulk of my army. The center, out on the flanks, I got a couple of Skinwolves of the armored variety. Again, just lots of anti-large in this army to deal with constructs. If there's any Kemrian War Sphinxes, we can pin them down and get after them. If there's any Necro Sphinxes, same over here with these Marauder Throwing Axes, specifically Throwing Axes because they're armor piercing, good against those constructs. So I'm ready for any constructs that may come my way, but my units are adaptable enough to be able to take on some infantry if they should need to. And boy do they need to, because my enemy here... Tomb King's box. He's boxed up with a whole lot of infantry and some range, some artillery. God damn it. I'm sure many of you have experienced boxes and understand the frustration of them, but he's got a couple of skeleton warriors up front, some on the sides. He does have the big old Tomb Guard Houndbirds. These are going to be a trouble. These are one of the toughest units we're going to have to try and get through, especially because they're anti-large and we've got a lot of large. So these could be a big problem for us. And in the middle of a box, all the ranged units sit. 2 units of regular skeleton archers, 1 unit of great bows. These are the big danger unit for the Tomb Kings, one of their finest units. He's also got a Screaming Skull Catapult and DJ Hatep on his Casket of Souls. So he's got 2 artillery pieces, a bunch of missiles, and a Tomb Prince bodyguarding for Hatep. At the back, he's got a couple of Nehekara warriors. These aren't massively dangerous as they are quite squishy, but still, they're boxed up. This is going to make life difficult for us, mostly with those halberds. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a slog. I wasn't really sure I'd be able to do it with my build, but I think we're adaptable enough to be able to go after it. He's focusing down my Brutes of the Hound here with his artillery, a wise move as they are a very dangerous and vulnerable unit to artillery and missile fire. Taking off a few shots with these great bows, hitting my Skinwolves, but that's fine, they'll regenerate. They've got some staying power over time anyway. So the plan here is really to deal with boxes, you just need to break one part of it and get inside the box. You don't need to try and like surround the box and break every single side of it. Just pick one side and try to get through it. And eventually you'll find that the box starts to crumble because they'll bring more stuff over to support. So that's what we're going to be looking to do here. I'm going to start with these skeleton warriors because they're not very tough. We can probably get rid of them relatively quickly if we pile some stuff into them. My berserkers still getting hammered. My Skinwolves, they're okay though. They've got up. We'll keep pushing up. About to engage their first set of units. Got to try and be careful of my Skinwolves and Throg on those halberds. The Fimir as well. Those are large units against anti-large units. That won't do them any favors. I'm bringing in my Skinwolves to hit these skeleton warriors, just to kind of provide some distraction to the fact that we're trying to get through this part first and foremost. Going to bring the Moors of Savagery in to take out those skeletons, and I'm trying to sneak Throg through at this point. I want to try and get after the great bows to stop them firing. So Throg going to become the Phallus of Doom, sneak through this tiny hole and get after these great bows just to disrupt them. Do kind of fancy going after Hatep though, he is right there, but the Tomb Prince is there guarding him, so it might not be good to take both of them on at the same time. And I'm trying to move my Javelins up so I can hit the great bows. I'm trying to get those great bows off the field first. If there's any one unit in this army I want to kill first, for me it's those goddamn great bows. Because once they're gone, we have a lot more room to maneuver and we won't have to kind of worry about range so much. And the artillery as well we also need to get rid of, but that's a lot easier than killing great bows. So he's got his box here. He's got all sides of his box surrounding. And there's one part of his box that I want to get rid of. It's this part. So I'm going to bring a lot of stuff to try and hit this part of the box to break through. And once we get inside the box, life becomes a lot easier. We'll get a hold of all these missiles. We'll get into the backs of any units that are still fighting my other units. So we can really mess the box up once we get inside. We've just got to break one side of it and get in there. I've used Fight or Die on this little group to try and help them break through the box. And I did have Throg smashing on those great bows for a second, but the Tomb Prince came after me. I'm going to lead him back here now. I'm going to land a couple of hits on these skeleton warriors to try and help break them a little bit sooner, but I've drawn the Tomb Prince away from Hatep, so now I can try and deal with him. Troll versus skeleton. I got my skirmish cab over here with the throwing axes, just chilling, just throwing at whatever's nearby, waiting for an opportunity to do something more useful. And this is where his box starts to fall apart. He's brought a lot of his halberds over to try and fill the hole that I've made, but now he's opened up this side, which has exposed all his missiles and artillery. And this is what these guys were waiting for. They've now got their chance. So I'm going to charge these into melee, my skirmish cab into melee, disrupt the missiles, the great bows, and some of the artillery as well. And like I said, all his halberds went over here, so this is what broke the box. We got in from one side, he started to panic, tried to fill the hole. In doing so, he's opened himself up to a bunch of other threats. So that's how you break a box. You got to try and get in there, first of all, just from one side. Don't try and break all 3 or 4 sides at once. Just pick one, the enemy will probably panic, try to fill the hole, and in doing so, they'll open up the rest of their box. Javelins, just throwing on whatever now. They don't have any good clear targets. I got these units I need to bring in. Tomb Kings getting their healing. I had a bad matchup over here. I left these skin wolves fighting halberds a little bit too long. They've taken some damage, but they will replenish and regen, so it's not too big of a deal. Throg's taken a fair pounding from fighting that Tomb Prince, but he will regen as well. The Tomb Prince is dead though. We killed him completely off. Maybe the halberds as well poked Throg a little bit, hurt him quite a bit, but like I said, he regens. He's a tough boy. He'll be alright. But Hatep here is now all alone with no bodyguard. He's in trouble. Throg's coming in, going to give him a big smash. I'm going to drop Spirit Leech and Soul Blight on him to reduce his armor, so Throg should have no problem taking down Hatep. My missile cab is broken, but that's fine. They disrupted the missiles for a while, stopped them from firing. But we got the Lord dead to rights now. We just got to finish him off. I'm trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Like I say, I've got that Soul Blight on there. I noticed these halberds are coming over, though. They're going to try and get a hold of Throg, maybe try and save Hatep. So I decided to bring these skin wolves after them, just to stop them, just to slow them down, to grab them and keep them away from Throg while he finishes off Hatep. He spawned up his Ushabti here on my javelins, but that's probably not the best idea because he's right next to the Fimir with their armor sundering anti-large skills. So they'll put some hurt on these Ushabti. Still got the missile disruption there, and we've managed to kill Hatep. He didn't stand much chance there, to be honest. Even against a half-dead Throg at full health, he was still pretty screwed. I'm now going to bring the skirmish cab back though, because I want them to use their ammo. I'm going to use Throg to disrupt these missiles and my wizard to disrupt these missiles. So I'm kind of swapping roles here, letting these pull back and do what they do best, which is throwing their axes and letting somebody else deal with the disruption. But we stopped them from firing this whole time. But I'm going to charge these back in. I think I was just trying to break these skeleton archers nice and quickly, trying to hit them with some charges to scare them off, get them crumbling, and then hopefully they would die. Lost most of my infantry at this point, my marauder infantry I should say. My brutes of the hound are dead. All I've got is my javelin infantry left. They're getting still pestered by the Ushabti. But I still got all my skin wolves. My skin wolves are just chilling out. I'm trying to get them away from halberds, letting them regenerate. Because that's one of the beauties of skin wolves. Even though it looks bad when they rout and you think, oh shit, my skin wolves are out. And it's actually good for them because they get time to regenerate. And they will usually come back. So it's not a big deal. We're bringing in everything here though. Trying to hit him hard with the Fimir, with Throg. Going to bring the skin wolves in as well. Going to try and break as much leadership as we can so we can get them crumbling. Trying to get rid of these Ushabti great bows. Hit them with a little sandwich from both sides. And the same with this group. Trying to hit them from both sides as much as possible. Bringing in the Maws of Savagery. Trying to get them a crumbling. But they do have a couple of units of fairly healthy halberds left, which are a big problem for all my large units. But all Scheisse, Throg is routed at this point. He's running away, but he'll be okay. He regenerates. He's got plenty of space before the edge of the map, so he'll come back. No worries there. But I'm starting to realize that we're struggling here. Our leadership is failing us, as very often happens with Norsca in the late game. We don't have the best leadership, so fighting a long time isn't great for us. We need to try and get the job done quick. But that can be pretty tough against these undead factions because, of course, they don't rout. They crumble. So that can take a long time, which is time we don't really have. So my Fimir are still in there. I had some skin walls here. I'm trying to pull them out to get them out of there. At this point, I'm trying to regroup. I'm trying to get everything out. Everything's routing away anyway. My Maws of Savagery are over here, so all my stuff's routed away. I now need to regroup. And this is something I think a lot of newer players miss, is that they don't ever try to regroup their army. Once they've routed away, they'll just bring a unit back into the fight by itself or with 2 units by themselves, taking on the rest of an army, and they just get routed straight away again. You need to regroup everything, get it together, and getting it attacking as one. I've got my Skin Wolves and Throg on this side, so I'm going to try and bring these round, try and bring my Maws of Savagery round, and try to get them all together in one big group so then I can attack this little group of Tomb Kings that's left, rather than attacking them one at a time with what I have left. Now, when I planned to do this, though, I thought that the Great Bows were dead. I thought I've got rid of them, which means I can't just sit back and try to regen and take some time, because these boys are going to shoot me, and I can't just sit there and take their damage. So I can't quite execute the plan I wanted to do of getting all my units together. So I have to try and get them attacking together, even if it's from different angles. Some of them won't be so well supported, though, from Throg's leadership of being near the Lord. But I've got to do what I can. So my Skin Wolves are returning. They're all still regenerating at this point as well, which is useful. Trying to get Throg to get rid of these Nehekara warriors real quick, because they're nearly dead anyway. But I spy me an opportunity. It's quite risky because there are halberds nearby, but these Ushabti Great Bows have their back to my Skin Wolves here. So I'm going to send in these Skin Wolves with the hope that they can just take out these Great Bows quickly, and then I have nothing to worry about, and I can simply run away from their infantry and just take some time to regenerate. My Skin Wolves are going to get them. The halberds aren't going to notice. Hopefully they can crumble them away quick enough. Halberds are coming back to try and save them, though, so it's going to be tough. I'm going to bring my other stuff in around to surround to try and support these. Bringing my other Skin Wolves in as well, just to try and get that leadership crumbling. And Throg comes in and does what Throg does best in these situations, just vomit on everyone. Going to land a big shot on these Nehekara warriors to try and help finish them off. Does a little bit of work, not the best landing, but if it can bring that leadership down and get them crumbling, we're laughing. These halberds are making life difficult, though. They've still got 2/3 of their health, so they're going to be a tough thing for us to try and deal with as we get later and later into this battle. I'm bringing Throg in, though, again, just trying to get rid of these Great Bows. One of them went flying. They got 500 health left, and they're crumbling. This is it. We just need to get rid of this unit, and then I can fall back and let myself regenerate. We're very much in a clump here. This isn't great for us. It's not going to be great for them either, to be honest. My Skin Wolves are routing. My Skirmish Cavs are routing. Throg's struggling. My Maws of Savagery are struggling. It's getting tough, but I realize at this point we can fall back. I've got these down to 300 health. They're falling away. They're crumbling away. Let's just get back. Get out of there. Going to keep Throg moving out of there. Going to get these Skin Wolves out of there, but they're going to rout anyway. But I'm just waiting at this point. I just need those Great Bows to die. My Fimir are charging in from a previous order. We're going to turn them around. Like, no. Let's wait. Those Great Bows are nearly dead. When they are, we can just stay out the way for a bit and regen our Skin Wolves, regen Throg, and we're going to be laughing. Here we go. Last 90 health. There goes one. One Ushabti down. Goodbye, Great Bow. Last one, still crumbling. And 14 health. Down he goes before he can fire his arrow. Beautiful. Now we're good. We have nothing to fear from them. We have the mobility advantage. They cannot catch us. They can't catch any of my stuff at this point. Even my Marauder Javelins here. Those bony skeleton legs won't be able to catch anything. So we can just chill out. I've got a bit of ammo left, so I'm going to use that up just to weaken them as much as I can. I'm going to stay away. Maws of Savagery regenerating. Throg regenerating. Skin Wolves over this side. 2 units regenerating. This is good. This is what we need. I just need to get some health back so that we can hopefully crumble this stuff and take advantage. I need to try and pick off what I can here and there as well. He's going to make a couple of mistakes, letting a couple of units get away by themselves. See, I'm just running away. Don't need to fight this now. I can just take my time, use up the ammo that I have left. I spot this unit of spearmen getting a little bit separated from the group. They're nearly dead. Going to bring in Throg and my Maws to try and finish them off nice and quick, and then get the hell out of there before the halberds arrive again. And that also came with the added bonus that it made all of these units run with their backs to my missiles, meaning my missiles will guaranteed hit them, because they got a lot of silver shield, so they are blocking most of my missiles from the front as they are now. So it's not great use of my ammo here, but I don't really have too much choice. We'll do what damage we can with the ammo we have left, but we're just going to take our time. Just mostly waiting for that regen. We're going to try and hit them every now and again to get them to start crumbling, and then we're going to pull back again, regen a little bit more, get them crumbling until hopefully we can fully get rid of them. I did come in to attack here, but I realized Throg and the Maws are a little bit too far away, so I want to try and get everything attacking together. So we're going to pull back, wait for them. I do try to get a Throg vomit attack again here, but it's a little bit of a stupid, finicky ability sometimes. I wanted to use it right now, right here, when these halberds were all grouped up and bunched up like this, but for some reason, Throg's being a dick, and then I start to panic that he's not going to do it, and he's not going to be there in time to buff the leadership of these units, so I abandon the vomit attack and just charge in instead, trying to get that leadership broken. Tough units of halberds left, though. They've still got a lot of health, these ones. Going to use Fight or Die to try and buff the leadership and the melee attack of all these units. That's going to help us fight that a little bit longer. Getting some wavering and crumbling on some of these units. This is what we need to do, though, but that's enough. We've taken a little bit too much damage. We need to fall back again, regen a little bit more, and try to do this again to try and break them. Either we're all going to break before they crumble, or we're going to be able to wear them down like this and just keep attacking them over and over, slowly but surely getting rid of them. These 2 halberds nicely clumped up, and then another unit, pretty dead halberds and spearmen. I did another Throg breath attack here, which kind of failed though because of the stupid time it took to do it. I tried to do it when they were all clumped up, but then it kind of worked when they were spaced out. I tried to do it when they were like here, but then they started to move and spread out over here. So then he kind of did it in a place when they were kind of all spread out, and it didn't really do what I wanted. So that was kind of wasted. If I'd done it now on the little group, how they're grouped up now, it probably would have been the end of it right here. But unfortunately, it didn't quite work out because that ability can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Going to bring in another cycle charge though. Just trying to set those units to crumbling. That's all we're trying to do. Get them crumbling and then get out the way and let the crumble take care of them. We're getting out on these halberds. They're on their last bits of health. 60 health, 50 health. Down to 40. Alright, this is it. That halberd unit's about to die. I just got 2 left and then some spears and we're golden. This is where we can do it. My marauder javelins, holding them in place valiantly. Just getting a little bit more regen time for my skinwolves and Throg. But then, what's happening here? What's happening? He's going heavy after those javelins. He's putting everything into getting rid of those javelins. He clearly really doesn't like javelins. He's broken them. But in doing so, he's brought himself into a little bit of a mosh pit. 3 units all clumped up together here? Surely not. Could it be? Throg feels the churning in his stomach. He feels the rumbling in his throat. Now is the time for the final vomit. Will it coat the enemy in green glory? Or can those skeletons get their dodge on? We got him! Green puke everywhere. He tries to dodge too little too late. Now is the time to attack. 1 hit from Throg finishes the job. Pyrrhic victory indeed. The Box Kings are no more. A good game to my opponent despite his slightly cheesy tactics. Let's have a look at some kills and some values and see who did what. You can see his army was about twice the size of mine first of all. So Throg had a lot of kills and whoa, 4,000 damage for big man. He basically took out a third of their army by himself. A little bit of work from the caster. Couldn't get much out of my infantry, but that's no surprise. My Brutes of the Hound got brutalized themselves early, so they didn't get a lot done. My Javelins did okay, though. 700 each. Skirmish Cav doing some work as well. They did a lot of disruption, so they probably did more than they're showing. Skinwolves, no spectacular performances there. Fairly spread out damage throughout my army. Mostly, though, all the work coming from Throg there with 4,200 damage. But his army, Hatep, getting a fair bit of damage, probably mostly bombing my Brutes of the Hound, getting the damage value out of them. Work from the Tomb Prince, that's probably taken on Throg. I think that's all he did. Not a lot from the infantry. The halberds, though, whoa, all of the halberds getting 1,500 points thereabouts. A little bit of work from the artillery and the great bow. So mostly in the halberds there for him, but there we go. Throg reigning supreme just about in this one. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the future.